Hello, it's Elise Corbin again from Peter Francisco Soil and Water Conservation District. And today we're going to talk about trees. We all need trees. First of all, trees give us fresh air. Let's take a deep breath. Now let's let it out. Did you know that you breathe in oxygen? And when you breathed out carbon dioxide. Well, guess what? Trees breathe in the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. And then they breathe out fresh, clean oxygen for us humans and for animals. What a wonderful thing that trees do for us. How cool is that? Do you know that one large tree can provide fresh oxygen for 4 people each day? We know that fruit like apples and oranges and peaches and pears and nuts and like walnuts, almonds, and pecans, they come from trees, so we get some really good food. We also know that we get some cool wood products from the wooden trees. You know, we get lumber to make things like furniture, houses, barns, fences, pencils. But did you know that through modern science, man has learned how to take that fiber from trees and create wonderful items that make our everyday lives so much easier and more enjoyable. In fact, there are 5,000 different products, or actually more than 5,000 different products, which come from trees. So tree logs are reduced to pulp. And you know what the pulpwood is used to make? Paper products like toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, facial tissues, paper plates, cartons, cardboard boxes, paper that we write or draw on, newspaper, wrapping paper, book paper, and wallpaper. Pulpwood is further processed to create cellulose. Now, cellulose is used to make rayon and acetate fabrics that we can make clothes with, like ties and shirts and dresses and suits. Methyl cellulose is used to thicken oral medications, like cough syrup. It's also used to thicken shampoo, hair conditioner, toothpaste, ice cream, lipstick, and other cosmetics, paint, food products like ice cream. Yes, we got that in there too, didn't we? Cellulose fibers are dissolved and can then be formed into molded plastic type articles like toothbrushes, baby bottles, hair combs, eyeglass frames. Ethyl cellulose is responsible for making the hard, impact-resistant plastics found in helmets like football helmets. Cellulose acetate chemicals are used to make film, and who doesn't enjoy a good film? Tree gum is sap that's extracted from a tree, and gum from the tree is used to make candles and crayons and chewing gum and adhesive on Band-Aids to make them stick to you when you get hurt. There's a few more things that we get from trees. Tree bark, it's used to make tall oil, and cosmetic companies use it to make perfumes to make you smell good. Tree-produced chemicals can be used to make synthetic rubber, and we use that for making toys, shoes, rubber bands, and tires. But did you know that natural rubber also comes from a tree? It's extracted. They extract the latex from a tree, and that's what they use to make natural rubber products. Those are very expensive now, and most of those trees are in either Brazil or in Asia. So, another thing that's extracted from a tree, and a particular type of tree, is a maple tree. And we get maple syrup for our pancakes and our waffles from a maple tree. And here are some interesting facts about trees. About 150 4,000 different types of trees have been identified, but we haven't identified all the trees that we have on planet Earth. We're still finding new species of trees. Trees are the oldest living things on planet Earth, and they don't die from old age. They might die from being burned in a fire, or being struck by lightning, or being blown over by a windstorm. They might die from disease. They might die from not getting enough water, but they don't die from old age. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Did you also know that they are the tallest and the heaviest living things on planet Earth? Trees have lots of roots under the ground. This holds the soil in place and helps prevent erosion. But did you think about it? It also is like having a whole nother tree underground for every tree that we can see above the ground. Did you know that one large tree can suck up up to 100 gallons of water out of the ground and then discharge it in the air? This helps stop flooding, doesn't it? 100 trees remove 53 tons of carbon dioxide and 430 pounds of other air pollutants each year. So like we discussed earlier, trees give us very fresh air. They clean our air and purify it. Trees also purify our air by helping settle out the dust and trap pollen and dust and smoke from the air. The dust level in the air can be as much as 75% lower on the sheltered side of a tree compared to the windward side of the tree. Tree leaves that fall to the ground, they reduce soil temperatures and help keep moisture in the soil. Then they start decaying, right? And they feed microorganisms in the soil. And then it also provides, when these decayed leaves start decaying, it provides nutrients for plants and other trees. Trees provide shade, which cools the air temperature. Doesn't it feel good on a hot day to sit under a nice shady tree? Trees also absorb and block noise. Did you know a well-placed tree can reduce noise by as much as 40%? Trees create an ecosystem and provide a place to live for animals and birds, and they also provide food for them to eat. And each year, one person can use wood and paper products equivalent to a 100-foot tree, which is about 18 inches in diameter. That's how many tree products we use in a year. So, we all really do need trees. Now, I'm going to read a story to you and show you some pictures about a little boy on his way to school one morning. So, his name's Randy, and this is how it goes. "Hurry, Randy, or you'll be late for school," Mrs. Carter called from the kitchen. Randy's hand slid over the smooth handrail, which was made from wood. Let's see. He skipped down the stairs, and then he landed with a thud. "Coming, Mom," he mumbled through the thick sweatshirt that he just put over his rayon shirt. And here is a picture of a rayon shirt and rayon fabric. "What's for breakfast? I'm starved," as he crossed the wood floor to get to the kitchen. Let's see. He slid across a bench made of wood. And what else did he do? And he sat at the table. What do you think the table was made of? Wood. The smell of vanilla coming from the stack of steaming pancakes which the box that the pancake mix came in was made of wood, and synthetic vanilla is made from chemicals from a tree. Real vanilla comes from the vanilla bean, which comes from a plant. He poured maple syrup on his pancakes. And where do you think maple syrup comes from? Yep, it comes from a tree. He grabbed the milk and poured himself a glass. Does milk come from a tree? No. Milk comes from a cow. But the carton that the milk is in came from a tree, didn't it? His father was reading the newspaper. And he said, "Son, did you finish your homework?" What do you think he did his homework on? Paper that comes from a tree. He said, "Well, son, guess what? I have 2 tickets to go see a new movie at the movie theater. Would you like to go since you finished your homework?" So the tickets were printed on paper from a tree, and the film was made from part of a tree. Mother was busy in the kitchen making Randy's lunch. What do you think the kitchen cabinets are made of? That's right, wood from a tree. She put in a carton of apple juice. Well, the apples came from a tree, right? And the carton itself was made from parts of a tree. She put some chocolate chip cookies in his lunch. The carton for the chocolate chip cookies was made from a tree. And did you know that sometimes wood fiber is used in things like cookies? Bread? Yes, they are. She wrapped his sandwich in cellophane, which is made from part of a tree. She put an orange in his lunch, and that came from a tree. And then she put it in a brown paper sack made from a tree. Let's see. What do you think Mom told him to do after he ate his breakfast? Yep, Randy, go brush your teeth. Well, did you know that toothpaste is thickened from cellulose from a tree? And toothbrushes are made from parts of a tree? He grabbed his new books and his pencils, which were made from a tree. He had football practice that day too, so he grabbed his football helmet. And that, can you believe that? The hard, resistant, impact-resistant plastic from the football helmet made from parts of a tree. He grabbed his lunch from the paper that's in the paper sack, opened the door made of wood from a tree, and ran outside. He could hear tires from cars driving down the road, and tires are made from parts of a tree. He jumped over those planter boxes in the front yard. The planter boxes were made from wood from a tree. Let's see what else he did. He plastered wooden houses, wooden fences, wooden signs, wooden telephone poles. And then he went and sat on a bench, a wooden bench made from a tree, next to a girl named Judy. And they waited from the bus together. Now, Judy had on a pair of lavender glasses. And did you know that parts of a tree went into molding the frames for those glasses, the plastic frames? Judy had on some bright yellow nail polish. You could smell the hairspray in her hair, and her hair smelled really fresh because she had just washed it with shampoo thickened from part of a tree. She was wearing lip gloss, and the lip gloss, the shiny lip gloss, came from part of a tree. Part of a tree went into making the shiny lip gloss. She had a peppermint, and the candy wrapper, the cellulose wrappers, were made from parts of a tree. She offered him a stick of gum, but are we allowed to chew gum at school? Yeah, I don't think we're allowed to chew it on the bus either. So Randy said, no thank you, because we're getting ready to get on the bus. And when they got on the bus, Randy went down the rubber mat, which came from parts of a tree, and sat down. Now look at all the products that Randy used on his way to school that morning in less than an hour. Can you see that we really do need trees? This has been your introductory video into trees. We also have the Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I've got that video uploaded. You can click on it. My grandson helped us pull out treasures that come from a tree. So he opens the treasure chest and keeps on pulling out things, treasures that come from trees. And that's a separate video. And there's other activities that you can click on and bring up. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you learn to appreciate trees. Take care, and we'll see you next time for another learning adventure.